most children that grow up in LGBT homes end up getting abused. It's proof that there's no such thing as a gay gene. Did you know that homosexuality is part of witchcraft? As far as human being large in size, there is evidence in different parts of the world. Do you know what witchcraft is? It invokes demons. Are demons good or bad? If you don't know who your creator is, you don't know your purpose in life, then you'll never be happy. You're not accepted as a Jew. Jesus is also coming back for war. Jew out of a drop of sperm. He created a tree out of a single seed. Only your worship, meaning your head, only prostrates to that creator, meaning the one who created everything. Do you believe in a creator?
Why have you decided to do Dawah on the street in a predominantly non-Muslim environment?
Knowledge is useless unless it is shared. If I learn something, if I don't pass it on to someone else, then what I know is completely useless.
You're touching the hearts and minds of people and you're getting them to see a truth. Very prominent in the field of Dawah. He goes by the name of Abdul Wahab and he's also known as the Warner.
Okay, Wahab, nice to meet you. What got you, here's a gift from me to you. What got you intrigued and wanting to know more?
Genuinely just curiosity.
Nice. Well, where are you at on your spiritual journey right now?
We're here doing it. Not really religious.
Okay. Do you believe in a creator?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Do you believe that the creator is like a human being like us? Or you think the creator is greater than mankind?
See, I think there's like some sort of like omnipotent creator out there. Like omniscient. I'm not sure what. That's frankly it. I think I just like learning about religion.
Okay, wonderful. Do you mind if I could explain like what we believe about God? Because that's what actually makes Islam different than any other religion. It's the only religion that worships God and God alone without any partners and without any equals. Meaning worshiping the one God alone. Basically, whatever being created everything, the heavens and the earth, only that being is worthy of worship. You know, even though it seems like something so simple, it is the only religion that actually practices that. For instance, like Christianity, they believe Jesus is God. They believe God became a man. And I know you don't believe God is a human being like us, right? So, like, when it comes to monotheism, Islam is the only option when it comes to monotheism. Because all other religions are polytheistic, meaning they either add partners to God or they worship God along with other things.
What would you say about, like, for example, like, I have a couple friends. There's, like, certain sects, like, for example, like, I think one of my friends was talking about.
Yeah, Shia.
Like, Ahmadiyya, where they have, like, this guy who is, like, like a prophet. Like,
I have Muslim friends.
Like, what makes you guys different? Because there's so many different sects out there that have very different religions.
Sure. That's a wonderful question. So within Islam, right, even though there is different sects, like let's say, I'll give you an example of Christianity, right?
Yeah.
With Christianity and the different sects, right, what happens is each one believes in something different. Like each one believes God is something else. Some say Jesus is God, some say the Father is the one true God, right? And there's disagreements with who God is. When it comes to Islam, between the sects, there's no disagreement on who God is, who the final prophet is, right? They all follow the same book. But there is political differences.
With Ahmadiyya, correct me if I'm wrong, don't they believe that, like, their guy, like, Mirza Ghulam Ahmed, that
Well,
like,
yeah, so if anyone that doesn't believe Prophet Muhammad is the final prophet, then they're not Muslim. That's one of the tenets of Islam. So that would be, to me, to us, is outside of Islam. Because the tenet of Islam, in order to become Muslim, it's very simple. You just bear witness, there's no God but the one God, and that Muhammad is the final prophet. So once you say that, that's what makes you a Muslim. So you can't accept a prophet after the Prophet Muhammad. You understand what I'm saying? But like even the Nation of Islam, like have you ever heard of the FOI, the Nation of Islam? They believe a prophet after Prophet Muhammad. So they would not be in the guise of Islam. You get what I'm trying to say?
yeah, but wouldn't Catholics make the same argument, for example, about, like, other sects of Christianity? Like, oh, they're not Christian because, like, we're the right ones. They're just the ones who have the right idea, but they're out of full Christianity.
Yes, but like there's a lot of like idolatry within Catholicism. You know, like if you go in the church, you see pictures and images everywhere. Like, let me ask you a question. If Jesus was here today and he walked into the Catholic Church, you think he would approve of what he sees?
I don't think so.
Okay, so that tells you what you need to know, my sister. You know what I mean? So if Jesus were to come back and he would see the condition of the church the way it is, and you don't think yourself it's something, worthy, then you know what I mean. That tells you itself, like, you know, because like from my research, Christianity is not the religion of Jesus. It was the religion invented after Jesus by a man named Paul. Right? So it's, according to me, it's called polyandry. It's not Christianity because they follow Paul over Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And if Jesus is the prophet of God, there can't be someone that overrules what he says.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I mean, it does, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so far on your journey, I guess what I could do for you is I could explain to you like what we believe about God, and then you could see if that makes sense to you or not.
See, I already have my idea of God, that it's just like, there might be, like, when I say God, I think it's very different from what other people would see as God. I see God as just...
Oh, yes.
No, you're good. Frankly, I kind of just see God as, like, not...
Yes, brother, yes. What's your name? Okay, beautiful, man. Nice to meet you, bro. Here's also a prayer guide, and if you have any questions after she's done, then we can answer any questions that you like. Okay, amazing, man.
Like, frankly, I don't know if I made it clear earlier. I think my definition of God is not like, for example, like monotheism. I think there could be some sort of creator that doesn't necessarily have to be God. Like, whether it be like just a force or something, not necessarily even like just something created. Not necessarily like a God in like Christianity, Islam, Judaism, sort of. Like, I don't necessarily, like, I have an idea as to who God is in Islam. Like, I am familiar, but at the same time, I don't know if I'm completely, personally, a lot of the ideals in the Quran personally align.
Well, what do you know about the Quran? Because maybe you might be misinformed because you said something about Ahmadiyyas and stuff like that. You may be hearing things from the wrong sources. You know what I'm saying?
For one thing, within Islam, I do know that, for example, there are, like, for example, within, like, the Quran, there is some interesting ideas, like, for example, Noah's Ark. I personally can't find, like, a logical way for that to happen, like, with, like, two animals being brought on the ark and so on and so forth, and then also, like, the prophet living for, like, 900 years. A lot of that just feels very, I don't want to say, like, feels very improbable, if that makes sense.
No, I understand. Yeah, I understand. Well, the way I can explain it is in the beginning of time, when humans were closer to God, we had, like, even in size, we were bigger in size, you know, and we lived longer as well. But as we got farther and farther away from God, like, things have changed. Like, for instance, as far as human being large in size, there is evidence in different parts of the world where there are, like, houses made from carved out of the mountains. And, you know, when they look at these things, they could see that doors are literally like that tall. You know what I'm saying? So you could almost imagine the beings that created that thing. The Quran talks about that there is people in the past that were giants they would pluck out trees the way that we could pluck out carrots. You know what I mean?
I understand that, but at the same time, considering, like, anthropological evidence and, like, how humans have lived post-Neolithic revolution, most humans on average were only living about 30 years or so, due to, like, disease and other issues, and the fact that they didn't have, like, access to proper healthcare. So it's like, how is it possible for a man to have lived 900 years, but then also at the same time, certain prophets didn't live nearly as long? Correct me if I'm wrong, because...
Yeah, no, you're right, because in the beginning of time, there wasn't all the corruption, all the diseases, and all the stuff that we have now. Because remember, Prophet Noah was in the first half of humanity. It was at the beginning of humanity, where there wasn't as much corruption, as much sickness, as much as the where it is now. Because the population is way more vast than it was at that time. Like, for instance, like, if there's 8 billion plus people here, you think it was 8 billion people around at that time? No. Yeah.
What time?
A lot of different things, yeah.
Do you know? What time period?
I don't know. For me, that's like that. In humanity, that would be halftime. Like Adam would be the beginning, right? Halftime is basically like the middle of humanity was Noah, and then the end of the world would be the end of humanity.
Like, say you're right. Say there is a possibility that a man could live 900 years back then. What is different about society now where a man could live 900 years now?
Well, a lot of things are different about society, my sister. Like, for instance, like, yeah, brother, what's your name? Max. Max, okay, Wahab, nice to meet you, bro. It's a gift from me to you. Also, here's a prayer guide that teaches you how to worship, okay? And if you have any questions after I'm done speaking to her, feel free to ask, okay? We'll just watch out behind you. There's someone behind you. Oh, okay, cool. So take care, man. Would you like one as well? What's your name, brother? Jerome. Okay, Wahab, nice to meet you, man. It's a gift from me to you, okay, brother? If you have any questions, feel free to ask, okay? Don't be shy. Here you go, brother. It's this also a prayer guide that teaches you how to pray, okay? Yes, sir, brother.
But, like, for example,
Actually, there was
wouldn't it, like, say hypothetically that he was able to live for 900 years?
Well, you have to understand, my sister, like, believing in the ages and all that, that has nothing to do with your belief in God.
Like,
these are just like, these are like different details. Like, let's say if you don't believe Noah lived that does not make you a Muslim.
But isn't the Quran supposed to be
Just like I was
perfect?
No, it is perfect. It could be our lack of understanding. You get what I'm trying to say? But we believe the Quran is absolutely perfect. But I'm saying that, like, let's say if you don't believe that aspect, that does not make you a Muslim. Hi there, how you doing? What's your name? Zina Wahab, nice to meet you. Would you like a free Quran? Beautiful. It's a gift from me to you. You have any questions? Okay. No, it's in English. Yeah.
He got destroyed.
And that's a prayer guide, okay? Okay. Wonderful. God bless you, okay? Take care. Yeah.
Sam.
Okay, moving out of that point. I think we're gonna keep going.
What, say it again?
I think frankly we're just gonna keep going back and forth on it.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's what I'm saying.
What about, for example, like
I think you just need to, instead of only reading this,
the story of Prophet
as an
that's
intellectual
Yes.
I think like
you have to
mentioned it.
not just stick to one place. You have to study
It's
other
obvious that
books. Because the only way that you can actually know what you know is if you study, not just the Quran, but others.
And exactly, it's their actions. It's not the temptation. If they're tempted, you could be tempted. But if you act on the temptation, that's where.
But why is that wrong?
Well, my sister, let's say if every man married a man and every woman married a woman, society will cease to exist.
But by that logic, should we not allow, for example, like
You love a
should it be
different version
haram
of
then for people who don't want to have kids but not have
a
kids?
fake version of
Because it's the same idea of
That's actually a very interesting point. Because we believe marriage is to have children and to create bigger families and stuff like that. So that is a very interesting point. That's something to think about. Yeah. But the thing is, you can't say something is haram. To say something is haram, God has to forbid it. You know what I mean? We can't forbid something as human beings. Like, God has to forbid it.
so why, if God is all-knowing and understanding, why would He not make that explicit? Like, hey, if we want for our society,
What's one of the
to
best
continue,
ones?
why is it that why is it only gay people explicitly mentioned? As well, gay people now today also have kids, different methods such as like
It's adopted children. And most.
Oh, that's actually one of that's actually, thank you for reminding me, that's actually
they
one of the
allow for the
contradictions.
DNA to
Some verses says that it was made out of nothing,
and
and
then
then
why
others
is that a problem?
were actually.
But like, why would that be a problem?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, most children that grow up in LGBT homes end up getting abused.
Is there like actual evidence?
Yeah, there's 100%. Like, if you ask people who are involved in the LGBT, most of the time, 90% of people involved in the LGBT have, like, it's because of past abuse. They've been abused as a child, and they basically do what happened to them. Because, like, even like Harvard, MIT, UCLA, all these universities prove that there's no such thing as a gay gene. No one's born gay. It's just people are influenced to be gay based on their society and what's around them, but no one is born that way. Like, you could be tempted into thinking certain things, but that's where the test of life is, because we believe life is a test.
You know the Gospels of Mark
But
and
again,
John.
it's not harming.
Yeah, you know the Gospels of Mark
Who
and
is it
John.
harming by being gay? You can also be a bad queer.
Well, did you know that homosexuality is part of witchcraft?
Catholics and a lot
Again,
of
this
Christians.
really has to do with why is it a
Probably by
bad
you.
Well, do you know what witchcraft is? It invokes demons. Are demons good or bad?
Contradictions in this
again,
book.
not-
So if you commit homosexuality and demons get invoked, would that be good or bad?
I've studied for 4 years. And
Well, I mean,
I'm a follower of Christ. I'm not part of.
if how much do you know about LGBT? Because the majority of people in the LGBT, no, that's fine. But a lot of people in the LGBT practice like magic.
Explains exactly who Christ was. You know who Christ was?
Or
Who was Christ?
at least the young most of them
Before he became flesh.
Who
was Christ?
You don't see people running
You know
around.
who Christ was before he became flesh?
Well, the witchcraft is hidden. It's not going to be in your face. Like, for instance, like entry-level witchcraft is like crystals and that type of stuff. That's very common. That's like everyone is doing that. That's entry-level witchcraft.
Straight and gay people are also doing that.
No, but I'm just saying this is very common amongst people involved in LGBT.
He is 100% online in the context to that.
No, I'm just saying the majority. I'm just trying to explain to you that it's not a net positive, it's a net negative.
Around it.
That negative.
It's not that he didn't know. He wasn't supposed to say when because then it might have to.
Well, we don't believe that. You go never find happiness in your desires. because that is simply a desire. The only way you will find happiness and peace in this life is through the remembrance of the Creator. If you don't know who your Creator is, you don't know your purpose in life, then you'll never be happy. You'll never find peace.
I'm not sure you do.
Happiness is not an objective thing.
If you look at it, right, you'll realize that
Yeah, that's why I said peace.
it
It
wasn't
brings you
up to
peace.
him.
Because happiness is not the goal of this world. Because we don't believe, like, true happiness doesn't even exist in this world. Because this world is supposed to be a test. You get what I'm trying to say? So the idea of true happiness is like it's like a facade. It's a mirage. You know what I'm saying? True happiness only exists in hereafter, in paradise. That's where there is no ill talk. There is nothing evil. You don't get hungry. You don't get sleepy. You don't get sick. None of these things happen. But this earth is simply a testing ground for that.
But again, it doesn't really answer my point as to how is it a bad thing to allow LGBTQ and trans within this world. And also,
well, I mean, the reason why we say it's bad is because simply God says it's not okay. So the simple answer will be that God said so. You know what I'm saying? Since God said that that's not okay, then that's what God says. If the boss says that, that's what the boss says. You know what I'm saying?
shouldn't we be allowed to question?
100%. I mean, I understand. But if you fail to understand, now it's between you and the Creator.
No, but at the same time, I feel like you're not really explaining it, because again, it kind of goes down to you're giving examples of things that only like certain people doing these things, therefore it's bad. So therefore none can do this. And that's generally not how society, like, fairness is. Like, it's not fair to say that because one group of people do these things, all groups should be allowed to do it. All people should be allowed to do that. That's kind of like your argument to, like, being summed down. And I don't think that, I think it's like this kind of...
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. We can agree to disagree. That's not an issue. You know what I mean? Our main thing is just to teach people about the oneness of God and to worship God alone, to not associate partners with God, and to not associate any equals to God. That's the main thing, because that is a sin. That's the only one unforgivable sin. Homosexuality can be forgiven. You know what I mean? But there's only one unforgivable sin, which we want people to bring their attention to, that there is only one Creator, and to worship that Creator alone. And if you fail to worship that Creator, or you worship partners along with that Creator, there will be consequences for that.
And I do actually think that's very respectfully. What makes this Creator worth worshiping?
Well, the fact that He created everything out of nothing. He created you out of a drop of sperm. He created a tree out of a single seed. For someone to not acknowledge the greatness of the Creator, He gave you an eye without you having to pay for it. If you had to pay for your eyesight, how much would you have to pay? Who knows? Would you, if I give you $1 million to take away both eyes, would you take the $1 million? No. So a person that fails to acknowledge the Creator is just truly an ungrateful human being. That's what it just boils down to. There's ungrateful human beings that don't worship and ignore the Creator, and there's grateful human beings that worship the Creator, acknowledge who the Creator is. Because that's all the Creator wants, is for you to acknowledge Him, and to only your worship, meaning your head only prostrates to that Creator, meaning the one who created everything, not to the creation. Simple.
And what is God's punishment for not believing?
Yeah, well, we believe that the punishment is the Hellfire, but the Hellfire is only for those who refuse to acknowledge what the truth is, because we don't believe people will be punished based on ignorance. Like, if you didn't know, you won't be punished. You're only punished if you're aware of the truth. Someone is making the truth apparent to you, and then you try to push it aside. You try to ignore the truth. You get what I'm trying to say? Though that's what the punishment is for those who were warned of the truth, and then they didn't listen to the warning.
And it's not punishment eternal.
Huh?
It's not punishment eternal.
It's eternal, yes.
But if you're Muslim, say you're Muslim, like say on the other hand.
And just remember, a Muslim is just one who worships God alone. That's it. So if you believe there's one God, you believe God is not a human being, and you only worship that Creator, in Arabic, that we refer to you as a Muslim as well.
Jewish people.
Yeah, well, Jewish people, they believe in the ethno religion, meaning like you could only become Jewish through your mother.
But that's just not true, though. You can convert to Judaism.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
If you want to become accepted as an Orthodox Jew, that's not.
But that is actually not true.
What does it take to make a person a Jew? Belief in God? No. Belief in the Bible? No. Be a good person? No. The only thing it takes to be a Jewish person is to have a Jewish mother. If your mother's Jewish, you are Jewish. If your mother's not Jewish, you are not Jewish.
Actually, there is topic. It goes into talking with the rabbi, learning Hebrew, learning the Talmud.
It's learning the culture. You're never accepted as a Jew if your mother is not born.
Considered Jewish.
Okay, that's what I have a completely different experience. I actually have experience with this, so I don't know like where you're.
I'm telling you now, like the rabbis have talked about this and said that a Jewish person who converts to Judaism is seen in the eyes of God as just as much a Jew as someone who was born Jewish.
Why don't you ever see a Jew out here preaching that?
Because they don't need to. They don't proselytize. Nobody wants to. They don't need people to be Jewish because they still think they can go to heaven if you're not Jewish.
That's not true.
That's it.
I think you're completely. I don't think you know about
I'm
Judaism.
telling you right now, the 7 Noahide laws. If you follow the 7 Noahide laws and you were born, you are still able to get that same like heaven. The reason why the Jewish people have to follow the specific 35 rules is because of the fact that they made a covenant with Abraham. That's why they have to follow those rules. And they don't want to force people to do that. That's why. Because it's a different idea as to how to get into
Also, you know, there's different sects of Judaism as well. Yeah, so I don't know what sect. I'm talking about Orthodox Jews. I'm not talking about the liberal, the Reformed Jews, the different ones. Yeah.
Orthodox, Reformed, conservative. I think there's some variants within like Hasidic Jews.
What's up, man?
You, man. How you doing, brother? I'm learning the Bible right now. I'm Catholic.
Cool, man. What's your name?
Walt.
Okay, nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, brother Adam.
Assalamu alaikum, boys.
Well, alaikum, man. Yeah, are you interested in it? Yes, would you like a free Quran, brother? Are you interested?
I am. I just asked my brother, who's Muslim, black brother, who's to start teaching me. So I guess heaven is going to be a good idea.
Okay, cool. Well, what do you believe right now? Do you believe in a God? Do you believe in a creator? Wonderful. Do you believe God is a human being like you? Or he's greater than us? Wonderful. So if you...
I mean, there are gods and there's God.
We believe that there's only one God. There's the creator, and then there's his creation. You get what I'm trying to say?
Godly,
Huh?
I'm pretty godly. I ain't seen me work yet.
Well, I understand you. Okay, do you get hungry?
Yeah.
Do you get sleepy?
Yeah.
These are the attributes of God. God does not sleep. God does not eat. No, he doesn't get sleepy.
The 7th day he rested.
No, we don't believe that. That's according to Christianity. We don't believe that.
My bad.
Yeah. No problem. But we don't believe that. We don't believe God rests. God needs to eat. God needs to sleep. He's not in need of anything. So, for instance,
Muhammad's the prophet who brought the message.
he's a prophet of God. Simply a prophet,
prophet.
and a servant of God.
It's the warrior religion.
No, it's not just. I mean,
It is though.
I guess you could
Of
say,
them all.
yeah, you could say it's a warrior religion. But when Jesus comes back, Jesus is also coming back for war. You know that, right? When Jesus comes back to fight the false Messiah, is he coming for peace or for war?
Who's the false Messiah?
The false Messiah is what the Jews are waiting for their Messiah, which is the false Messiah.
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah,
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, no problem.
Please.
Okay.
But I concur wholeheartedly.
Yes.
Thank you for everything.
Yes. Oh, 1 second, brother. One thing. I want to give you a. Yeah. I just gonna give you a prayer manual. Teach you how to worship. Okay.
Cool. This is the 5 prayers a day.
Yes, sir. But you pray.
I learned it the other day. It was morning. How do you say morning?
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
The morning prayer. You say it. There's a word, right? You call it the morning prayer, right?
Oh yeah, Fajr.
Fajr. Yeah.
Yeah, before
my
sunrise.
guy told me that.
Yes.
I can't remember.
Yes.
Cool.
All right, my brother. Well, thank you for stopping by, man.
Yeah,
I
like your shirt, man. I just bought it from my homie over there. Think rich, baby. Think rich.
Nice.
You were saying?
Oh, sorry, I forgot what we were talking about.
We were talking about, I was just like telling you, because you were comparing between Judaism and Islam. We were talking about how Judaism, they don't preach like for people to become Jewish. And you said it was because of the fact that Jewish people don't allow people to convert into their religion, because that's their religion.
Yeah, my understanding is very clear. If your mother is not a Jew, then you're not accepted as a Jew.
Born Jewish, but that's different than being able to convert. I know in Islam there's this idea that if you are, like every child, correct me if I'm wrong, every child who is born is considered Muslim.
Yes.
But in Judaism, it's different because you have to choose to become, like, assuming your mother is Jewish. And even then, certain sects, for example, Reform and Conservative, they do recognize patrilineal Judaism, like coming from the father. I will say, though, that the matrilineal thing comes from the Roman Empire, which is very much like a change, because it used to be patrilineal.
Yeah, isn't that like everyone judges, your bloodline based on the father, and they do it through the mother, which is very different. You know what I mean?
But I don't know how that necessarily makes it wrong.
No, I'm not saying. I'm like we're just talking about the difference. But as far as like Judaism, what would be different? Like for instance, they believe the Father that God rested. They believe Jacob wrestled with God and put God on his back. Well, that's what it says in the Bible. In the Old Testament, it says Jacob wrestled.
Figuratively or literally?
Well, they believe that Jacob actually wrestled God and put God on his back.
Again, figuratively or literally, because those are two.
Well, it's up to, remember, every Christian, they understand the Bible completely different. So if I ask 5 different Christians what they believe, everyone's going to give a different answer.
So then why is it in the same Quran? Like, why is it that every person, like, why is it that people, like, does everybody within Islam recognize, within the Quran, not like hadith, because I understand that, like, with Shias, some Shias recognize certain hadiths and some Sunnis recognize certain hadiths. What is it with the Quran that makes it so that every Muslim recognizes and interprets it the same way?
It's because it's the words of God.
But again, that doesn't answer my question, because can some people, because the Quran was written like what, 1400 years ago?
Yes.
How is it that everybody interprets it the same way?
So you're saying, why does everyone interpret it the same way?
Yeah.
Well, there is different sects, so there are people who interpret it differently.
But again, how is it different from Christianity and Judaism if, again, people still interpret it differently? And how is it still the word of God?
Well, the Quran talks about the people of the book. They purposely misinterpret what according to their own desires.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you will be punished for that. Because what a Muslim is someone who submits their will to God,
Yeah.
right? And what other people do is they try to, like for instance, the Jews, they have this idea of challenging God as well. You know, that they believe that they, there's a story of, the Jewish rabbis, they had an argument with God and they won an argument with God or someone, so for us, we don't believe you can argue with God. Like whatever God says, we simply obey. We don't challenge God. We don't do these types of things. We are simply the ones who submit to what God wills.
But then how does it work, for example, with like, as new technology has come, like what makes iPhones halal? What makes, like, for example, like modern technology halal? Like, is the Quran like a text that like supersedes time?
100%, yes.
But again, how does that work? Like, how is it that?
Well, the Quran is for all times. Like, for instance, and even like there's hadith that is spoken about things that would happen in the future. For instance, like in Arabia, it would say, Arabia, I don't know if you know, like especially the Bedouin Arabs, they're known for building houses underground. You know what I mean? Because of how hot it is. So it says towards the end of time, the Bedouin Arabs that would build houses underground will start competing with each other in building tall buildings. You know what I mean? So it's certain things like prophecies and stuff like that that have been shown to be true.
To kind of answer that question too. So like things like negative substances that come out, like cocaine and heroin and these things, it's not forbidden in the Quran. What's forbidden is stuff that alters your mind. So it's not like specific about like this, and this. It says whatever alters your head state. So then when these things come out in the future, like that's how you know.
What about caffeine then? Because correct me if I'm wrong, there's like a lot of like Arab countries that have like a big coffee culture.
Caffeine doesn't it doesn't really alter your mind state. It might make you a bit more energized, but it's not like weed, alcohol, cocaine, like those. You get what I'm saying? Like it's pretty different. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any other questions?
I think that'll be all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for stopping by.
كاد تميز من الغيظ كلما ألقي فيها فوج سألهم خزنتها ألم يأتكم نذير قالوا بلى قد جاءنا نذير فكذبنا وقلنا ما نزل الله من شيء إن أنتم إلا في ضلال كبير وقالوا لو كنا نسمع أو نعقل ما كنا في أصحاب السعير فاعترفوا بذنبهم فسحقا لأصحاب السعير.